Okay, Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have Dark Knight Evan's release. We'll check out his skill set later. I actually just skimmed through the entire patch notes already, and there's actually more things to talk about than I thought. And I mean, that's a good thing, of course, but it's more quality of life related, right? So that's gonna be good for everyone. But first and foremost, we have Mythic Gear coming out. I've already made a video on that, so if you want a much clearer visual explanation, you can go check that out instead. Okay, but basically you'll be using these Mythic upgrade stones, which can be gotten from daily missions, salvaging, as well as pet dispatch, in order to Mythic awaken, so to speak, mythical awaken your gears, and your gears have to be maxed out at T5 plus 20 before you can do that. Okay, and then you can also enhance them to 15 and transcend them to two times. Okay, which means you will need 3 separate sets of legendary plus gear for whatever effect in order to transcend one specific set to T2 mythic. Okay, so that is a lot of resources and a lot of gold. The weapon itself is 10 million. The gold itself is the armors itself are 4 million each, and this is of course excluding all the enhancement that's going to come later on, right? This is just only the mythic awakening, so to speak, mythic upgrade process. I've already covered all the other effects in the video, so if you want to check that out, you can just go to the video that I made. Alright, and then one thing to note here, they say that for the Evan's armor, this damage immunity piercing efficiency is actually allowing the heroes to do damage to invincible enemies. So it's not just like shield enemies, it's through invincibility or damage immunity effects. This is actually pretty huge. Yeah, this is actually pretty huge. But to myth it, you need 5 pieces of the armor, so so good luck on that. Set separation. Okay, so as mentioned, we will include one set and 4 set effects. Okay, they are also highlighted in my video already, so if you want to see the effect before the update, you can go check that out. Set effect rework. For the variant set, the crit rate has improved. Okay, but now I think the 2-piece gives even more than the previous 3-piece. So this makes life a bit easier, because when you're making PvE teams, or if you're using this in PvP for some reason, like maybe for Teo, you can actually afford to mix and match more sets onto him now, because the crit rate amount is drastically improved, right? So if, for example, in PvE, if your hero is just lacking just a little bit of crit to 100%, then you can just maybe give him a 1 set or 2 set piece, and that will be enough. Take note that for PvE, your crit rate that you see on the screen is excluding the pet effect, excluding your masteries, and excluding other heroes' passive like Chris. Okay, so overall, if you have Chris on your field, or even if you have masteries and a pet, I would say about 85% crit is actually high enough. Okay, so you can just make sure that with the new variant set, as long as you can hit about 85 or 86% of your crit for your damage dealer, I think that will be good. Then we have the special enhancement stones, simply just getting a new look. They will become mythic enhancement stones. Their usage is basically the same. You don't have to worry about the change, but they can be used to upgrade. They can only be used to upgrade the mythic gear. Okay. Then we have Dark Knight Evan, Dylan's new outfit. This scythe looks amazing, by the way. 2 jewel reworks. This is the untargetable one. So previously it was just 25% and decreases AoE damage received, but now it will become 100%, which is so much better. Although it's 3 seconds shorter, but nonetheless, it also decreases all damage received. Okay, not just AoE. So this is definitely a good buff. And then the next one is this one, where it has 20% chance to reset skill cooldowns, but now it is 100% chance to reset, and also increase attack speed and movement speed, which is definitely good if you attack a certain hero 5 times, certain hero type. Then we have Training Ground. So I'll just go through Training Ground here because I've never really talked about it, but it's basically, simply put, a testing ground for you to look at your PvE output damage. Yeah, that's basically it. Oops. So Training Ground is divided into 2 major places, the safety zone and the battle zone. You can edit your team settings only in the safety zone. The team setting is locked in battle zone. You can switch between safety zone and battle zone using the zone switch. You can place up to 4 heroes. Basic team setting uses a scenario team. Masteries and duels also use scenario presets. Team settings can be saved in preset menu. Training Ground is a PvE field, only PvE options are applied. Take note that certain exclusive equipment are not activated in Training Ground because they are only activated in the specific raid. The Training Ground dummy heals its own HP, stays neutral. You can reset many things such as damage record, buff, debuff status, time spent, hero transformation status. You can record your damage up to 5 minutes in Training Ground. So I think this will be a good way, you know, if you are looking into improving your damage output in PvE, and you can share certain builds with your guild members. And I think this could be a valuable feature that will help your entire guild become better, because yeah, hopefully. Account CP level increase, we're going all the way to 10 million now. New maze, pet dispatch improvements, so now you can claim all. You can also see what reward you're getting before, you don't have to click end, so you can immediately decide whether you want to refresh that. And then there's also this you get higher chance of getting better missions depending on the number of pets you have. And then you have an exclamation mark icon that will be for certain pets, so that you know that these pets are used in other missions, because I have come across so many times where I use the pet that is meant for another mission and I have to, you know, cancel the other mission, come back to this one and then set accordingly manually. So yeah, this is a great QOL. PvE status window improvement, you can see longer. I assume that they are, you know, going to welcome a lot of debuffs soon. So in future you will be able to see a long string of reds and blues. And there are just many QOLs for this PvP. Arena changes, so the matchmaking will change. They will basically just match you with opponents in the same tier, so there's no longer a consideration of how high you have previously hit. Yeah, and matching with other players that are in the same tier or below. So it will just be in the same tier right now. And all these are some, you know, changes to the minimum rank points that you need to get. Equip status improvements. You can now actually swap gears between the heroes themselves directly from here, similar to how you do it in the actual, you know, hero inventory screen. So I think that's great, it's more convenient. And then they also increase the number of equipments you can change up to 50, which I still don't understand why there's a limit to this. Yeah. Raid improvements, we have now a timer for raid, that's great. Crafting improvements, so you actually don't have to time yourself if you're actually doing the guild challenge. Yeah. Crafting improvements, so there's a warning if you craft more than 1000 things. Mission changes to get the mythic upgrade stones, okay, and then so Ruri will be added to the shop, I mean the tickets, then Diana's gonna be added to the shop, so those who haven't got to 60 you can do so now. One thing I'm still confused is that why they are not releasing Serena's EE and Chris's EE. We're just left with 2 EEs, I believe, in the entire game, but they don't want to release these 2 EEs, especially since, you know, I feel like Training Ground came out and I think it will be a great update to have those EEs, because that will actually make Training Ground useful, because people will want to test out the damage output after the new EEs are introduced, but nope. Not happening. So just to go to some of the events. Oh wait, these are the Diana events. Okay, they're not updated yet. Anyway, we'll look at Evan Plus. Okay, so passive applies AoE damage received decrease to DPS and support allies. So obviously this is setting up for Fine in future, but if you're even using him in PvP, otherwise good for Clemith in PvP right now, but otherwise, you know, in PvE this is also good. Applies attack increase proportional to defense to the caster. Increases attack by 5% proportional to every 1000 defense. Interesting. I totally forgot his skill set, to be honest. The only thing I remember about his skill set is the ceiling effect. Yeah. So okay, I guess he feels a little defensive in the passive wise, yeah. Becomes unstoppable, charges at a target, deals good amount of single target damage, 100% chance to stun, 100% chance of applying unremovable ultimate skill gauge increase disable. If the target is sealed, deals additional defense ignoring damage. Second skill, deals defense ignoring damage equal to a certain percentage of attack to the caster and recovers his HP. This is similar to the regular Evan Plus, because he also heals when attacking. If the target is sealed, deals additional damage. Deals damage, applies crit rate and crit damage increase is exactly the same as the previous Evan, but that Evan doesn't do damage on this skill. It is a support skill. In PvP, fields has 100% chance of applying an unremovable seal to the target. So the seal is only in PvP. Okay. And then he becomes invincible. For his ultimate skill, becomes invincible, deals defense ignoring damage, AoE, and deals additional damage proportional to current HP. 60% chance to knock down. Apply skill cooldown reset to all skills in for the caster. In PvP, fields has 100% chance to apply unremovable seal to all targets for 15 seconds. Yeah, so seal basically seems like he only seals on his ultimate skill. He steals the passive and basically deactivates the passive. That's about it for him. So he does 3 ST damage moves with the ult being AoE only. Okay, so seal. Seals target passive for 15 seconds and deactivates passive skill. Sealed platoon cannot activate the following effects of his passive skill. Shield, crit damage boost, attack boost. Yeah, so he's on paper it sounds very strong, but I think in actual practice he may be a little inefficient for PvP because he has 3 single target skills, and in fact I don't think he was ever meta in Korea server. Okay, given whatever we have, okay, even with Mythic Ace coming out, because he was released before Mythic Ace. No, I may be wrong on that. But anyway, I think he was released before Mythic Ace. But even with Mythic Ace, I mean, he didn't like research back into usage or something. So he was definitely used a lot in dungeons, T16 dungeons. But then again, now that I see that the ceiling is not really used in PvE, then there's a lot that he's lacking, but I guess his damage kind of, you know, probably makes up for that, hopefully. So yeah, he's mainly in the PvE, used in the PvE setting. And even in PvE, I don't think he's a necessity at this point, but some people have been using him for to pair along with Dylan's Plus and Diana and Serena for T16 dungeons. If you have watched some videos on T16 dungeons, then this is a pretty good team that you may want to prepare for. So yeah, that's his probable usage in the near future. Okay, so that's all I have for this update. Do let me know what you guys think of all the quality of life updates, and I know many of you have been waiting for a mythical hero for the longest time. Now I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out like maybe in the next update or the 2 updates after this, which is gonna be 4 weeks from now, because usually they do give you a gap, right? They do give a gap between whenever L Plus is released. There's kind of like a 1 month gap. So I'm expecting that to happen, but that leaves the next update to be totally empty because there's no more L heroes left. So it could go either way from here. I really don't know. Maybe they just won't release the L Plus with the Myth hero from now on, so they can actually release Myth heroes then L Plus, then Myth heroes and L Plus, you know, I mean, on a more spread out basis, right? Yeah, so let me know what you guys think of the update. This update is actually pretty long. Yeah, it's actually pretty long for all the QOL. Big shout out to my channel members: Chilling, Jude, Gonzalo, McGee, Amaki, Kevin, Harlan, Cos, and JD, and for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much, and see you!